Hello everyone, I'm Recv5,
And I am Sandman99.
and welcome back to Madden NFL 2005.
Yes, Crusaders. Although we do have a special feature today.
Indeed.
Yes, but first of all, we're going to look at something that I'm developing for next season with the Crusaders.
Okay.
Yes, because I've been working on my defense. And you'll notice that I'm crowding the line here. I'm playing defense with the guys in the white.
Yep.
But, this is supposed to be a goal line defense, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but of course in play creation mode, you can't spot the ball where you want it to. So basically I just do my testing out here at the 35-yard line.
Yep.
And so anyway, this is a goal line defense. And as you can see, I've got one of the defensive tackles under my control with the green dot around him.
Yep.
And then the two guys immediately to his left are also defensive tackles. And then the defensive end is actually in an upright position way out wide on the left side there.
Yep.
And the other defensive end is also lined up wide on his side, where he would be basically over top of the tight end if the tight end were on that side.
Yep.
And then, of course, I've got three linebackers crowded into the middle here, and I've got the safety brought up like from the middle up to the line behind number 98 there.
Yep.
And because this is supposed to be a goal line alignment. So anyway, here we go. We'll run this real quick and just see what happens against the run. So here we go. It's going to be a toss play, and the quarterback turns around to toss the ball, and the linebacker jumps through the gap and pounds him to the turf.
Oh my God.
And you'll notice that number 98 there is also going through a wide open gap.
Yep.
Right. So basically I've got penetration in the middle in two different places here. Right. Because and even with the Walmart blocking, like the center gets number 70 and the safety both, but I've still got two guys penetrating into the backfield in the middle. Right.
Yeah, you're just sending more guys than they have, I guess.
Yeah, and the idea of lining the three defensive linemen up tight in the middle like that, so that one of them is over the center, one's over the guard, and one is over the tackle, almost like they're aligned at basically pointed at the gaps, right? And the idea here is that you want them to try and squeeze through those gaps, and what that does, if I engage the center, is it makes number 74 there, he's supposed to pick up number 98, and then the tackle there, number 76, is supposed to pick up 91.
Yep.
And on a pass play, of course, then that allows my outside pass rusher to run around into the backfield. Right?
Yep.
Or if they play the line a little bit looser and that tackle tries to drift out and pick up that wide rusher, well, suddenly I've got them outnumbered 3-2 in the middle, and one of those guys shoots through a gap.
Yep.
But against the run, it's pretty effective too, because you attack and put pressure on those gaps, and then all of a sudden it changes the way that the offensive line plays, right? And it looks like number 64 there, the left guard, was going to try and pull, and he just turned away from the linebacker who had a blitz assignment in this particular play as well. Because this is a send 7 house blitz, basically.
Yep.
Right. You know, this is a desperation defense where you're lined up, you're backed up to your own 1-yard line, and you're pretty sure they're going to run, and you want to try and stuff them for a loss so they give you a little more space, right?
Still, though, that's pretty unusual to sneak a guy through that gap.
Yep, I've never seen a quarterback get hit in the middle of a toss animation before. I've seen them lots of times. You see a defender burst through a gap and jump on the quarterback as he goes back to hand off the ball, right? That's pretty common, but to have him get through there so quick, and that the quarterback can't even turn around and toss the ball back to the halfback. I mean, that's fast.
Yeah, apparently it's in the game.
Yeah, well, that is Brian Urlacher too. So I mean,
he's fairly quick too, right?
We don't have Brian Urlacher on the Crusaders, so that's probably not going to happen. But what I'm trying to do is figure out ways so that my inside linebackers, who are actually both pretty good players
can penetrate.
The Crusaders, can get penetration. And the year before this season, actually, I was starting off using a defense similar to this, with two linebackers in the middle, And that was the season that Edwards, I think, got 11 or 12 sacks in one season just from hitting that gap, right?
Yep, I see.
But anyway, we'll move on to the game now, which is going to be an extra special treat.
All right. And we're back.
Yes. And we are in year 10, week 14 of the New York Spitfires.
Yes, the treat today is playing with the Spitfires.
Yes, we are going to watch Recv5x wreak havoc on the field.
Ah.
But anyway, we'll have a quick look here at the New York Spitfires. And of course, in week 13, I just lost my starting quarterback there, Chris Samuels, for 7 weeks.
Rip.
Due to an abdominal tear. And so the rather inexperienced Andre Strickland is going to be starting.
And he won't be selling any propane.
No. And Rojas here is the backup. Now, Strickland is not a bad quarterback considering his level of experience. He's actually very mobile. And, he's got a decent arm as well, and he's not a bad passer. Right, Samuels normally has more throw power than that, but due to his injury, I think that's what's affecting him.
Yep.
And Rojas in a pinch, well, he'll do okay, but
you want Strickland out there.
You want Strickland out there for sure. And at halfback, we've got superstar Bill Santiago, who is a similar player to Calvin Allen, actually.
Okay.
Right. Although he's got a couple of points slower. And then, of course, we've got Chris Thompson, the disgruntled backup, right? He is actually the original halfback on this team.
Yep.
And then we've got Jarrett Strong, who I drafted a couple of seasons ago. He's actually pretty slow for a halfback, but he's got pretty good agility and acceleration.
And that actually seems to matter a bit more.
Yeah. And then we have Gabe Brooks at fullback, who is rated overall 99. He's got 80 speed. He actually started off as a halfback. But because he's a big halfback, I've converted him to fullback.
And it looks like he's thrived at that position.
Yeah, actually this season he's got over 400 yards rushing from the fullback position. So he's doing pretty well. And we're loaded up with talent at wide receiver. We've got speed to spare. The slowest guy in the group has 86 speed. And Ernie Tubbs here is a touchdown maker, right? Blazing speed. And at tight end, we've got a good rookie, and then we've got a couple of older guys, right? No superstars at tight end, but reasonably competent players. And a pretty good offensive line, but not as good as the Crusaders has, really. Because of, people changing over a 10-year period, lots of retirements and that kind of thing.
Yep.
But when we look at the defense, okay, here's what your defensive ends are going to look like. And you've got 3 pretty highly rated guys, right? And then, of course, you got Tyler Simpson, who is in the twilight of his career. But here is the one-man wrecking crew here, Roman George at defensive tackle. And this guy is the guy I talked about before. When I drafted him, the comment on him said, accelerates like a 400-pound sumo wrestler.
And it's because he has 99
and that's because
acceleration.
He has 99 acceleration, and he has 95 strength. He's not extremely fast, but I don't think you need to be in order to play defensive tackle. And his tackling is steadily getting better, but even with, like a relatively low tackle rating like that, he's still rated 97 overall. So he's going to be a all Madden quality player, right?
Yep, and then you've got Bronson there.
Yeah, and then Bronson, who is actually converted from defensive end, and that was mainly because at the time we didn't have anybody with any decent strength. And I've spent quite a bit of time over the various seasons working on drafting bigger, stronger guys at defensive tackle, and you'll notice because I play a lot of 5-man line, I have quite a few defensive tackles on the roster. Anyway, here is Larry Lewis, left outside linebacker, and every quarterback's nightmare. He's an NFL icon. He is working on, I think, 39 sacks at this point in this season so far. So yeah, he's basically the Cedric Perry of the Spitfires, right? And then, of course, we've got Doug Cross at middle linebacker, who is also an NFL icon. And Jimmy Sparks, who probably could be an NFL icon, but he's just not as well known, I guess. At right outside linebacker, they don't get the glory. And the only thing is the corner, we're a little bit, that's probably the weakest part of the defense here, but lots of speed. These guys are all pretty good coverage guys. The only thing is their tackling is a little bit suspect.
And they're corner sized instead of safety sized.
Edgar Small is a very good tackler for a corner, but everyone else is basically kind of mediocre. In fact, Danny Jones tackles better than Ross Clay does, right?
See, this is why you draft safeties for cornerbacks.
Yeah, I know, but when you look at him, though, he's got 94 speed and 86 agility and 93 acceleration. And what I was doing at the time, because I played a lot of zone, is that I was trying to draft players that would not get beaten deep, right?
Yep.
And, of course, we've got Sandman99 playing free safety. And suffered a catastrophic injury a few seasons ago, so I lost a point of speed and a point of strength.
And a point of acceleration.
And a point of acceleration.
And jumping.
Well, also, though, this is the 9th year for this guy, right?
Yep.
And then at strong safety, it's kind of a toss-up. Either one of these guys is a good player, a good fit to start, right? And they're both pretty good tacklers for safeties as well. And, of course, we've got Ryan Little. And you know how we made a big thing about the amazing kick power of our Crusaders kicker?
Yeah.
And how it wasn't really so amazing. Well, Ryan Little, this is his 2nd year, right? And when I drafted him last season, okay, he had 99 kick power
out of the
already,
gate.
Out of the gate, right? Like all I've been doing with him is basically, just not even running him through the kicking drill. Right now, he takes care of the kickoff duties. But also I'll sub him in if I have to kick a field goal longer than 50 yards. So he's my long field goal kicker, whereas Charles here is my accurate field goal kicker, although he's got a decent amount of kick power too, but he is a 16-year guy, right? So I'm anticipating a retirement sometime. And the same thing at punter, although our 2nd-year punter is not really a very good player because he hasn't gotten any playing time. Although he does have pretty decent kick power. So, anyway, that's what the team looks like. So, without further ado here, we'll move on to the game. And we're playing against the Boston Royals, who are a marginal team at best. But you'll see here that the Spitfires have a 91 rated defense.
Yep.
And that is basically the highest rated defense of any franchise team that I have ever had or played with, because let's face it, usually the emphasis, we'll change that to, the emphasis in our games tends to be on offense, right? Big O, little D, right?
Well, that's because player of the game check mark, right?
Yeah, player of the game, quarterback check mark, yeah. But anyway, I'm going to stick with my existing playbook for the time being. I'm still kind of tinkering with my new one. But yes, the Spitfires, actually, I started off with them playing mainly a 3-4 base defense too.
Okay.
And so their team is basically built almost as if it was intended to play your style of defense anyway, right?
Well, I guess we'll have to see how it works out.
But anyway, here you go. You got Sandman99, who's an NFL icon, Larry Lewis, who is an NFL icon, Roman George, who is a budding superstar, and Doug Cross at middle linebacker, who is an NFL icon.
You have so many key players, you can't even list them all.
That's right. Well, the linebacking group on this team
is the best in the league.
Is the best in the league. The league average is 14 points less than what the average rating for linebackers on the Spitfires is.
Wow.
Thanks for joining us today as the visiting team gets set to take on the home team. We're here for another great game. Welcome to the action.
But that's a reflection of me, like running mainly a 3-4 base defense with this team for several seasons too, right?
The teams have taken the field and lined up for the kickoff.
Okay, so here we go with our offensive audibles to start things off. And let's see here. We'll go with this, because this team also has a bit more of a fullback focused running game too. Okay.
Well, I've been experimenting with my 2-4-5 system a lot, so I might just keep doing that for now.
Yeah, I think that you can sub in your defensive tackles anyway, like you have a package to do that. Because definitely your best defensive lineman is your #1 defensive tackle. And your second string defensive tackle is as good as either of the defensive ends, right? Because the defensive line on this team is actually overall about 10 points higher on average than the league average is too. Like basically this team is a
superstar team.
It's a defensive superpower, basically.
Let's get back to the play on the field.
Okay, and here we go.
Ready to kick this one.
Brian Little, who currently leads the league in touchbacks on kickoffs.
He got all of that one.
He's going to get another one.
He's going to get another one.
The visiting team will start this drive from the 20.
Unless I'm kicking into a really strong wind, basically every kickoff goes that far into the end zone or further. If I have a strong wind at my back, I can kick it right out past the end line, right?
They line up in the I formation. Hand off to the tailback. Misses the Ooh, that one will leave a mark.
He got hit so hard he darn near had to take a taxi back to the stadium.
Picked up about 6 yards that time.
Make sure I get the right package there.
Yep.
Richardson. Play action.
Got started a little late there.
Yeah, but I think it's...
Oh, how did he catch that?
How did he catch that?
29-yard line.
Oh, that's okay. We injured this guy, so...
Yeah.
And Jill will fill us in a moment.
Now they're going to come out with 3 running backs.
Yeah, it's going to be a full house. He's 1 for 1 for 45 yards. He completed a 45-yard bomb.
They give it to the halfback. Richardson couldn't find an opening and was brought down very quickly.
Yeah, he was. This line has to do a better job of holding up at the point of attack. He has a fast first step. He can explode through the hole. And he needs a line to create that little crease or cutback lane to break free.
Only one man in the backfield. Closing in. Ooh, a hit on the quarterback. Great downfield coverage that time, John.
You have to go through your
Brings the corner on a blitz.
Give your receivers a chance to make the play.
Yep.
All of those guys are blazing fast, so if you run that kind of play, you can get all kinds of pressure really quick.
They have to get it now to at least the 19-yard line. Richardson, the lone setback. Heil sends a man in motion. Gets rid of it. This pass is incomplete.
Yeah, even Bronson is a tough guy in the middle, right? Like he's difficult to block. And by the way, we're playing with the new, I'm going to call it the new slider sets too. So
yeah, this is with the slider set that will be used in the Magicians franchise.
That's right.
Here's the kick.
Ooh,
I think that's actually...
did that miss? Ooh, that was close, though.
Santiago anticipates having a big game today, John. You could tell when we sat down with him yesterday just how confident he is.
Yeah, he's feeling good, and he's getting the ball during key plays. He's a great player, and he's thinking end zone every time he touches a ball.
Yeah, Bill Santiago is also an NFL icon, by the way.
Pass play here on first down. Throws it. And
Oh, really?
Break a tackle and then fumble.
Is that a fumble, too?
hold on to it.
And that's exactly...
Well, let's challenge it. We'll just see.
Coach has decided to take advantage of his ability to challenge a bad ball right here.
Yeah, the NFL wanted to make sure that there was never any questionable calls that determine a winner.
No, that's a fumble.
Oh, man. What a terrible fumble.
Yeah, there was nothing I could do about that.
And the official was unable to see anything to change his mind, so the call...
He came open, so I threw it to him, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, how often does a tight end fumble?
First and 10.
Well, this team is built around wide receivers, so the tight ends are not really the best players on the offense.
Pressure with the pass. Nearly intercepted.
Wow.
I think he just hit me with that one.
Yeah. Well, you had two chances to catch it.
The corners are moving up to press the receivers.
Ah, we just got an offside penalty because of that.
Throwing.
Huh.
This one falls incomplete. The offense picks up some free yardage.
That's the stuff the defensive coordinator hates to see. Nothing hurts your team like giving them free field position.
They'll now face 2nd and 5 here after the penalty. Pressure coming with the...
Whoa!
If only.
Whoa!
If only.
Almost had an interception.
I think he was
That's why you run those flat zones, though.
Yep.
That's a great
Boy, oh boy, that should have been an interception. Man, oh man.
Looks like they'll play bump and run on the outside. Lynch from the shotgun.
Well, you couldn't have hurt him too bad. He's back already.
Pushes off.
Ah! Look at that.
Yeah, that's that weak tackling corner, though, right?
Any better than that? Textbook first down.
Although, that being said, if it wasn't for that penalty, then they wouldn't have made a first down there, right?
First and 10. The defense is going to play this one very tight. Tucks it away. Closing in with the pass. Almost there.
Wow.
Good coverage. He forces the ball in there.
I'll tell you, he did almost everything right on that one. He was able to read the quarterback's eyes. He got himself in good position to make the interception.
He keeps doing that. He's going to throw an interception.
Gets rid of it.
Yeah, again. Wow.
A big turnover.
Just can't hold on to it.
Yeah. Sooner or later, somebody's going to come down with one.
I'm telling you, man, my defensive formations are just cursed not to get interceptions.
6th play of this drive.
It must just be the way I design these things.
Lynch back in the shotgun. Surveying the field. Gets the pass off. This one falls incomplete.
Well, they're going to have to kick a field goal after all that.
Yeah, they'll get a field goal out of it.
They were going to get a field goal either way. Even if they'd have failed to make that first down, they were still close. They were already in field goal range when they got possession of the ball, right?
Well, we had a couple of interception attempts to
yeah, you came close. Well, actually about 4, right? 4 dropped interceptions in that sequence of plays, right?
Nice kick. 20 yards. From the 6-yard line to the 20.
Oh, I couldn't get behind my blocker. I actually ran into the side of him.
Well, okay, let's try this again.
Hand it off.
Holy shit, if I could get going forward here. Wow.
39.
This is a great block. Watch here. He just barrels into the defender, taking him right off the turf. Now that is a textbook block right there.
Strickland with a man in motion. Throwing on first down. Looking for an option. Throwing.
And that's Robbie Schwartz.
The 34.
That was the first superstar wide receiver on the team. The first speedy wide receiver that I drafted.
Yeah, he must be getting up there in age.
Yeah,
now.
he's about 8 or 9 year player now.
Changing the play now. Strickland sends a man in motion. Pass play here on first down. He's looking, trying something to the left.
Oh, come on.
He has a great arm, but that pass was just a little bit too long.
Boy.
I like the way he throws the deep passes. He can make all the throws. The short one, the medium one, the long one. This guy can do it all. Now, he'll struggle with his consistency every now and then, but they sure could do a heck of a lot worse at this quarterback position.
Santiago in motion, directing traffic. Gets rid of it.
Oh, jeez.
Third down, upcoming after the incomplete pass. Fifth play of
Just
this
terrible
drive.
luck.
Yeah.
The visiting team come out in a dime package. Santiago, the man in motion.
Looks like they're playing one deep.
Changing the play.
I think they got a linebacker on Santiago, too.
Dropping back. He surveys the field, launches this one to the left. This one falls incomplete.
Fast linebacker.
Yeah.
No, that was a safety. They had the safety on him. Time to put the big-legged kicker in.
That's right. It's time to... Whoops. Where is he here? Here we go.
And we go back to the game.
It's a 51-yarder, so we got to put the guy with the big leg in there.
Tied up. The kicking team takes the field. The kick is up.
Nice. Wow, and lots of room to spare, too.
Yep.
Amazing kick power.
That's right. That's what 99 kick power looks like, folks. I better swap him back out again now. Whoops. Because Charles is still the more accurate kicker, right? But if you need to kick a field goal longer than 50 yards, you want Little kicking them, right?
And he got all of that one. A great kick.
See, I didn't even get 100% power there, and I still kicked it deep enough to get a touchback.
The kick in the end zone. First and 10. Pressure, gets the pass off. He hits his receiver.
One thing anyway, you don't have to play off too much with this team because all of your defensive backs have speed to spare, right?
Yeah, well, I've been playing press coverage all game long so far.
Mm-hmm. Well, so far he's only 3 of 8. Like, look at that.
They'll go from the I formation. Lynch with a man in motion. He gets the carry. Under pressure.
Well, if he hadn't hit him, I would have hit him.
Too soon, and it missed the mark. The pass rush almost got to him.
I don't think he ever had a chance to set his feet. I'll tell you one thing. This defensive coach sure has his defensive lineman pumped up.
Oh, twin tight ends.
Richardson, the lone back. Pressure coming with the throw, and he hits his target. George brings him down at the 39. Bronson makes the catch but doesn't get very far.
And that's what the mark of a solid defense is. They close in on you in a hurry, and they don't miss tackle.
About 2 to go.
Wow, twin tight ends again.
Richardson. They'll go with a play fake. Closing in. Taken down in the backfield by Lewis.
There's Larry Lewis.
He's always had the uncanny ability to have success in the blitz, especially when the other
I had to work my way through like 3 guys in the middle there in order to get back there too.
Yeah. Yeah, but you could though, right? With a lesser player, you wouldn't have gotten that far.
From the 34-yard line. He picks up a few yards on the return. So we have
That's the nice thing about having a fast player on the returns there is you can actually field them.
Yeah.
Strickland with a man in motion. Changing the play now. Santiago. Dropped behind the line for a loss of a couple. You know, Johnny always seems to be in perfect position to make a play.
He's all about effort. His motor's always running at 100%, and he's got the experience to diagnose plays very quickly.
Strickland sends a man in motion. Looking for an option. Gets the pass off.
There you go.
Yeah.
Number 41. Brings it
Oh,
in
no.
at the 28. Looks like he's just shaking.
Well, you know what? Hopefully he's all right, but
Yeah, come on, man. You've got a helmet on.
But I do have lots of depth at wide receiver on this team, so you know, we're probably going to be okay.
This one is handed off. Blair makes the tackle at the 24-yard line. Gain of 3.
I don't know. That looked like a bit more than 3 to me.
Yeah, it probably should have been more than that, but what can you do?
Drops back. Throwing. Ooh, nearly picked off. He makes
Throw that one a bit early or what?
The quarterback can get a little excited out there at times. Maybe that's
Well, I
what
guess
caused
that
the
the pressure was coming, right?
5th play of this drive. They come out in the nickel. Schwartz comes in motion. With the throw.
That's okay. You've got Hansen here for a touchdown.
Yeah, that's right. Everybody on this team in the wide receiver position is fast. Like, everybody, right?
Yep.
And don't forget here, I'm playing with the second string quarterback too, right? Like, my starter is basically gone for the rest of the season, I think, at this point.
And it's up. And he picks on the extra point. And that drive, John, is capped off with the touchdown.
Hey, as an offensive coach in this league, you're always making adjustments. And hopefully you can get the defense on its heels and get it in there for the touchdown. Good job by these guys.
Booming kick downfield.
You gonna run this one out? Nope.
Another touchback.
Yeah.
Very good job against
I actually half expected him to try to run that one out, but I guess not.
I think it maybe is a combination, too, of the speed of the coverage guys, because all the coverage guys have, like, high 80s to low 90s speed, too, right?
Cross play to the left. Trap makes the play at the 23. And he picks up.
There you go. I managed to get over to the opposite side of the formation and pick up an offensive lineman that was trying to block a safety.
Yeah.
They need 7.
Yeah, this team has got plenty of speed on the defense, that's for sure.
Pressure gets the pass off. He finds his man. Cole takes him down at the 35-yard line. Nice read, finding the receiver who is in single coverage. It's 1st and 10. Williams comes in motion. Throwing on 1st down. Under pressure with the pass. The pass goes incomplete.
I think that was thrown a bit early.
Yeah, well, there was a lot of pressure there. Somehow or another, you managed to get one of those guys to loop around the offensive line, and he looped around the entire offensive line.
You know, what ended up happening was Roman George accelerates so quickly that from this position, I ended up eating up their tackle.
Yeah.
They line up in the I formation. The 40 breaks free. Ooh, that one will leave a mark.
Luckily, you have fairly fast linebackers, so they can come back and pursue. Your corners are not the best tacklers in the world, but even if they can slow that guy down a little bit, they can, at least get some help coming. Ooh. And that's the kind of thing that those guys are good at, right?
Yep.
They're coverage guys.
Is ready to punt this one away.
Except for that one cheesy long pass, he hasn't really done much through the air in this game at all, right?
Here's the kick. From the 20. And the offense getting ready to come back.
Actually got pushed out of bounds by that guy.
Yep.
It's 1st and 10.
Oh, he's going to do the crisscross thing, huh?
Strickland sends a man in motion. Crosses it right. Santiago. Blair makes the tackle at the...
Well, you got back to the line of scrimmage at least.
Yeah, I got back to the line of scrimmage at least.
2nd and 9 coming up here. Santiago in motion. Throws on the move, and he hits his target. Brady stops him at the
Turn a short pass into like a 15-yard gain.
Hey, he might be even more dangerous on the run.
Yeah, well, it's not hard to do with these receivers, right? But like I said, they're all fast. Looks like Tubbs is back and he's fine.
Changing the play now.
It was like I said, come on, man, you got a helmet on.
Hand it off.
Well, that actually turned out okay.
5-yard line. 2-yard
Well, I managed to not lose any yards at least, but
About 8 yards. Cubs, the man in motion. Dropping back, closing in with the throw.
I threw that. I had to throw that a little earlier than I wanted to, too, because they had guys pinching in from both sides, right?
Yep. Well, it looks like that was just a straight drop, too, because it doesn't seem like the defender got his hand on that one.
And this is the 5th play of this drive.
But these things can't be helped.
The visiting team come out in a dime package. Surveying the field. Gets rid of
Wow,
it.
that was a hell of a catch.
Makes the catch anyway. Number 81 gets stopped short of the sticks on that play.
Oh, well. I guess maybe I could have tried waiting a little bit longer before throwing that, but...
Coming now to punt it away.
You're worried about the pressure.
Well, a lot of it also is kind of a function of the quarterback's accuracy and his awareness, because that pass can be thrown to different parts of the field depending on who's throwing it, right?
Yep.
And a guy with a high accuracy rating is going to throw it more toward the outside, you know, like, which is what I was trying to do there, right?
1st and 10. The corners are moving up to press
Give the defensive ends a little bit of playtime here.
Well, they're good players, too.
Throwing on 1st down. Throws it, and this pass is completed. Teal records the stop at the 24. Lynch completes that one. And
That was a pretty generous spot for that, I think. That didn't look like a pickup of 4 there.
It's 2nd down and 6 to go. After 1 quarter of play, the score is 10-3. The teams have switched sides, and we'll start the 2nd quarter. 2nd and 6 coming up here.
So some of the all Madden teams are no longer all Madden teams at this point.
Oh, really? After 10 years?
Yep, because the Tigers, for example, you just saw the graphic there. They're 7 and 6.
Yep.
Right, and they're actually in the lower half of the standings in their division right now.
Wow.
And the Comets are in 1st place in their division right now going into this game.
Pressure, throwing.
Ooh. Wow, another dropped interception.
See, man, it's just my defensive schemes. My defensive schemes produce dropped interceptions.
Yeah.
And here you always thought it was a Crusaders issue.
Yeah, well, it appears to be global.
Here's the punt. From the 37-yard line. Still not a bad return. It's time to see what the offense can do now as they come back out onto the field. 1st and 10.
Yeah, they've got more time of possession than we do.
Calling an audible. Strickland with a man in
Somehow.
Oh, well.
pass play here on 1st down with the pass.
Bundy there is a good player. He's got pretty decent speed for a tight end. I'm hoping that he turns out to be kind of like a similar player to Crosby on the Bad Men.
Yep.
That's exactly what you're going to get.
When he eventually develops, right?
He tucks it away. They'll mark it at the 28-yard line. I like how this big guy can run with the football.
Yeah, and this fullback can do more than just get out there and lead block. Give him the ball and watch him rumble.
They'll need to get the ball inside the 24 to convert for a 1st down. Changing the play now. Gets the pass off, and he makes the grab. He's at the 20. Brady makes the play.
Oh, it's looking like a sure thing on this drive.
How about that speed? Great individual.
Knock on not wood wood.
Lasers all over the field. He can throw them short, he can throw them long, he can throw them medium, he can throw them anywhere.
Strickland sends a man in motion. Looking for room.
Oh, come on.
Ah, that's okay. It's a face mask penalty.
Yeah. But really, you know, like, when you see two unblocked players come through the line like that on one side, that's really frustrating.
7 yards to go for the touchdown. Santiago moves in motion. Looks like he's changing the play.
Oh, come on, really?
Now they're going to get it back.
The team has to show discipline.
Wow, I didn't even look at the play clock. I just assumed that I would have enough time to run a play, right?
You know, they really screw you after a penalty, and they screwed you again here.
Yeah, I'll say, wow.
All right, after penalties and after time of possession, they screw you on the play clock.
Yeah,
I don't know why, they just do.
He surveys the field.
Oh, shit.
Gets the pass off.
I wish that I could be on the design team of the next game and have them use this as a base. But one of the things that you do is, even with the accelerated clock, there is always 20 seconds left on the clock when you line up at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, well, the big problem is they burn 15 seconds off the play clock for play selection just because a penalty happened, right? And that's what leads to these situations where you don't have enough time on the play clock.
Behind the secondary and got open for the touchdown.
Now that's just how they practice.
Oh, well.
They go over this play all the time to practice.
We've had a lot more dropped interceptions on our side than they have on theirs anyway.
Yep.
At least 5 on our side so far.
Well, I think that was a defensive lineman out there trying to pick off that pass on their side.
The kick is up, and the extra point is good. And with that right there, they've now scored 17 unanswered points.
They just can't.
Hey, I've got a highlight of a defensive lineman returning an interception for a touchdown. And it wasn't a short one either. It was like 60 yards. Oh, crap.
Down the middle.
Okay, well,
that one is going to lose a little power.
Yeah, that one's not going to be a touchback.
The defense shut down the offense the last time they had the ball.
So they got the ball 3 yards further down the field than usual.
It's 1st and 10. Tightening up the coverage along the outside.
But see, I operate the kick meter basically all timing based. So I'm pretty sure that they change the speed that the kick meter travels at from time to time, right?
Dropped in the backfield for a short loss. Richardson couldn't even get out of the backfield.
This defense is extremely active and effective up front. They do a good job of getting upfield quickly, creating havoc in the backfield. Misdirection plays and draws can be a good way to use their speed and aggressiveness against them.
So it's 2nd and 10. The corners move up to play this one tight. Richardson, the lone back. Under pressure, throwing.
There's another one.
It's never going to be a thing, man.
Yeah.
It's never going to be a thing.
Yeah. Well, lots of those knockdowns are like that, too. The guy stands there and the ball's coming in at just above his, you know, just right into his outstretched hands, and then it hits the ground.
The corners are moving up to press the receivers. Drops back. Looking for
Yeah, block one, the other will come.
Yeah. That was Cross, right? Doug Cross, who's a NFL icon as well, right? And he plays like one, too.
Number 43 will try to improve upon those numbers.
Middle linebackers tend not to get as many sacks as the outside guys do, but Cross has got about a dozen this season, too, right?
Here's the kick. From the 46.
But we're getting those return yards anyways.
And no matter how good a punt is, it doesn't mean anything if your team can't stop the return.
But to be fair, though, that guy is actually really out-kicking the coverage. Like, I have like 10 yards of room every time.
Yeah.
Strickland with a man in motion. Hand off to the tailback.
Well, I'll just take what I can get there. I didn't have enough time to audible out of that again, right?
Well, I think taking it up the middle there was good anyways, because it looked like the safety was standing on the outside and he was waiting for you. And then when you cut in, you forced him to follow you inside.
Yeah, well, as soon as I saw them line up that way, I just started looking for a gap somewhere in the middle anyway, right? Because I knew I wasn't going to be able to get anything going outside.
Surveying the field. On the run. The 30. Great throw. Solid hit. Just punched him.
The thing is, when you get hit like that, it's like having a bumblebee in your helmet. You just can't get rid of it.
The defense blitzes the corner, but the quarterback got rid of it quickly for a completion and the first down.
Anyway, you can tell that Strickland is a little bit rough at times because he doesn't have the pass completion percentage that the starter had, right?
Another run.
Ha, I'm just going to run away from you.
He hit hard on that play.
Yeah, you talk about your depleter. That's what happened there. He unloaded and he got a depleter.
And they're trying to force the defense to adjust to them.
If they keep getting gains like this, it could really open up things for them.
What's this, 4-3 against 5 wide receivers? Like, really?
Strickland with a man in
It looks like they got safety coverage on Wilcox there.
throwing left. He hits his receiver.
Pretty good coverage, though.
Demonstrates his great hands.
Well, they might still have their strong D safeties on this team.
Yeah, well, they'd be getting... They'd be almost aged out by now.
He has so much confidence in him.
Fifth play of this drive, within scoring distance.
Well, whoever they got playing free safety there, he's fast.
Oh, they're going to blitz from that side. You see that?
Not anymore, they're not.
Passing on first down. Gets rid of it, and it's complete. Really
wow.
Yeah, you talk about your depleter. That's what happened there. He unloaded, and he got a depleter.
5 yards away from the end zone.
Yeah, they're going to have the goal line out there, so I might as well put the goal line offense out there right now.
And run the dive play.
That's right. Because all I need that guy to do is fall forward, and now I've got a first down, right?
And now you can do that 3 more times.
The goal is, coach, if you need 2 yards, I'll get you 2 yards. And the coach asked him, what if I need 6 yards? He said, I'll get you 2 yards.
Yeah.
Changing the play now. Number 88.
Or I'll just run for 4 yards into the end zone, right?
Easy.
See, Fisher there, he's a very good player. That left guard.
Yep.
He's also an original Spitfires player, though, so he's getting close to that retirement age, too, right?
Yeah, he must have been one of the youngest players on the line if he's still around.
Yeah, he was like either a rookie or a second-year player, right? When the franchise started.
And it's on its way. And
Because I've already had a couple of retirements on the offensive line, most notably Rock Dishman, the center, right?
Who kept playing until his strength was in the 60s.
That's right. I think he was actually like 42 years old or something when he finally retired.
God.
And he was starting.
42-year-old center.
Yeah.
Just ridiculous.
Yeah, and you know what? It was like either 2 or 3 seasons before he retired, he made it to the Pro Bowl as a center.
First and 10. The corners move up to play this one tight.
So I guess that if your blocking skills are high enough, then if you're a little lacking in strength, it doesn't always matter, right?
Apparently.
So far for him today. Good job knifing in there to bring him down.
He brings a lot of things to the table.
Yo, he had like 99 blocking and everything, didn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, he can run.
Yeah, 99 pass blocking and 99 run blocking.
That he actually anticipates what the
And I think it's only been like a couple of seasons since he retired, right? Like 1 or 2 seasons. Both of the guys playing center right now are relatively new players.
The team that gets the best leverage is going to control the line of scrimmage. When you run it into the middle, you have to have some push or movement up front.
And I think I moved one of them over from a guard position.
The defense really bears down on third down.
Everybody's blocking.
Yeah, but that linebacker still got in there and got a hit on him anyway, right?
They're big and they're strong and they're fast.
How do you like playing defense with this team?
It's pretty easy.
Yeah, they caught you by surprise with that one long cheesy pass, but after that,
From the 49.
you haven't really given them an inch.
He didn't have much to work with, but still got away a decent return. Ball on the 39-yard line.
And again, they just keep out-kicking their coverage like crazy.
Strickland sends a man in motion. Santiago.
Oh, come on. Really?
Good work by the defensive line there.
Wow.
Off the ball, that penetration shut off those running lanes. He was looking for a hole, but the only thing he saw was a massive wall of defenders.
For the first, I'll have to get the ball inside the 29-yard line.
That's bad when you end up with members of the defensive line just slashing through the offense. Like, wow.
Dropping back. On the move. Right to him. At the 30.
So we'll just throw a touchdown pass.
10, 5. Make the connection on second down and long.
Well, this is very quickly turning into a blowout.
Well, they keep. I mean, what kind of defense was that, right? Like, I read that, and I think I probably could have thrown it to either of these guys because they were completely out of position there, right? I think he's covering him actually, and there isn't really anybody covering this guy, right? So I could have thrown it to him too.
Yeah, and you would have got a touchdown either way.
Yeah, really.
Back to the game.
As it is, I probably got a touchdown on that one because the guy I didn't throw the ball to got a bit of a block on the safety there, right?
Yep.
The kicker lines up for the point after. The kick is up, and the extra point is good. The home team are lined up for the kickoff.
Well, we need Strickland to get better because it's late in the season, and our starter is not going to be back. I don't think he'll even be back for the playoffs because, you know, coming into this game, he's out for another 7 weeks.
Well, you
So
know what, though?
that's pretty much all the way to the Super Bowl. Like if
With the way things are going right now, I think you'll be just fine.
yeah.
First and 10. Richardson, the lone setback. Williams moves.
Although giving up that field goal in this game kind of spoiled the defense average because up to this point we've only been giving up 2.8 points a game, right?
Well, I can't
So
be helped.
you're already above the season average.
God.
Second and 1 coming up. Looks like they'll play bump and run on the outside. Richardson, the lone back. Lane comes in motion. Pressure coming. Steps up. Good play in the backfield. Great effort that time, John.
Well, we'll go and we'll get another sack there, apparently.
Yep. Oh yeah, well, with the players that you have on this team, you should be able to just ruin these guys.
The corners
Like,
move up to play this one tight. The offense has had trouble moving the stick
Oh,
on third
bit on the
down
play
so far.
action.
Pass was incomplete. It looked like he'd come up with it, but he just couldn't get it.
Oh, that's okay. We had some pass coverage downfield.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you have like a 250-pound free safety, right?
Offense couldn't get it done, and they'll line up to punt. Here's the punt. And he signals for the fair catch. So they have 1st and 10 here. Calling an audible. Passing on 1st down. Throws it, and he hits his target. The 40.
Oh.
Out of bounds at the
It's too bad he didn't stagger toward the inside of the field instead, eh?
Right on the money. They're just out there playing a little pitch and catch.
Oh, well, these things can't be helped.
Yeah, Tubbs, by the way, has 99 speed, as
Yeah,
well as
he'll escape from everybody if he
Yeah.
actually gets into the open field.
yeah, as well as high 80s for both acceleration and agility. So
He gets the carry.
Oh, there you go. The dive play. That's what you got to call against these guys. That worked fantastic.
you know what? I have found that that is the most successful run play that I use. Like, I don't know how you do it, but I just can't run around the outside the way that you do. We'll just let this run down to 2 minutes here.
Well, I don't know. I guess I just have a knack for that kind of thing.
And we've reached the 2-minute mark.
It's all that Madden 12 that I played.
Yeah.
Strickland sends a man in motion. Curry drops behind the line.
See, even with a speed guy like Curry, there is a fast wide receiver, right? But you see that? Even I had the guy there, and he didn't get a good enough block.
Yep.
But look at this guy from all the way over here, right?
Yep. Yeah, he would have been in there making the tackle
Action on the field.
if that block had been successful.
First down marker just inside the 17.
Okay, well, it looks like I called the right play here.
Throwing. Comes up with it. Number 41. Records the stop at the 10-yard line.
Now, this is one heck of a play. You're in a hole here on 3rd down. And they come through with this
The
perfect
leisurely
play.
2-minute
Gets them a first and
offense.
keeps the drive
Yeah.
going.
Hand it off. So they get in on the ground.
Yeah, great blocking on that
And your
one.
first
Made them a
first
big
rushing
hole.
touchdown?
Charge right
No,
into
second
the end.
rushing touchdown.
Yeah, because I got one with the fullback earlier.
That's right, yeah.
Well, the fullback, who's basically the third string tight end, right?
Yeah.
Charles comes in to attempt the point after. And it's up. And the extra point is good. The home team are set to kick it deep.
But yeah, this season, I've been basically mauling everybody like this, right?
He got all of that one. From the 1-yard line. They forced a 3-and-out on the last.
See, those guys are all blazing fast, too, so if he catches the ball, the kickoff, receives the kickoff at about the goal line, he can't even make it out to the 15-yard line before I'm down there to cover it, right?
Going to play this one very tight. Hand it off to the back. Bronson takes him down at the 19. They're going to keep testing.
Yeah, you're not going to stiff arm me, asshole.
Seems to get stronger every time he touches the ball.
Yeah, these guys are not as strong a team as they were either. You know, like some of the middle and lower echelon teams seem to have gotten better, and some of them seem to have slid a little bit, right?
Yep.
Hand off to the tailback. Lewis makes the tackle at the 21.
They're like, we really need to call the timeouts to run our 2-minute offense now after running a bunch of time off the clock.
Yeah.
Third down 4 coming up on this one. New York puts its secondary in better position to make a play on any kind of a run. Givens goes in motion. Trent holds him down behind the line.
Well, there was going to be no cutting back across the line there.
No.
In spite of the fact that we had everybody stacked on that side.
Well, the thing is, though, you got penetration on the backside, right? So if he tried to run to the left, you were right there to meet him.
Yep.
And, you know, you had so many people on the other side that trying to run to the right was basically a
fool's errand.
A futile effort, right? You can't run when there's like 5 guys all lined up on that side. They're just going to let the clock run out. So,
That's almost a whole game's worth of points in one half.
that's right. So, anyway, maybe we'll take a brief intermission.
For the halftime stretch.
Yeah.
And we're back.
Yes. And I was just looking at the stats there, and the Royals have only completed 1/3 of their passes.
Really?
Yep. See, 6 of 18, and then the other guy is 0 for 1.
Wow.
And so that 145-yard pass constitutes almost all of their offensive yardage. See, they got 62 pass yards and then 45 yards for one play, right?
From the 6-yard line to the 20, powering ahead, the 30.
Wow, look at you.
Yeah, I just can't get off those guys now.
Will start this drive from the 33.
Oh, well.
First and 10.
I tried.
I haven't had much success running the ball. I'm not really out of balance. You know, like I'm still a little more pass than run, but I've still... It's not 2-1 or anything. It's just that this kind of shit keeps happening every time I hand the ball off, right?
Yeah, they've got this super aggressive run defense.
Yep.
It's because they want you to drop like 500 yards passing on them. Which you're on pace to do, by the way.
Yeah.
Strickland sends a man in motion.
Okay, let's send him back.
Looking for a receiver. Scrambling.
And guess what? Strickland can run.
At the 39-yard line. He breaks this one for a gain.
You know, you can run any defensive scheme you want. But I'll tell you this, it's
Well, there's your rushing
for
yardage.
the quarterback that can scramble and make plays on the
Yeah,
run.
well, you know what? Strickland is definitely he is a scrambler, right?
They need 5.
Or at least he can be. I mean, I prefer
Come out of the nickel.
not to do that kind of thing, but
Strickland with a man
if
in
I
motion.
have to, I will. If I have a quarterback who has the ability to do that.
Throws it, and the catch is made.
Oh, I don't know about that spot. Boy, oh boy.
Could always challenge it.
Nah, we're ahead 38-3. I don't really see the point. I think we got screwed, though. I'm pretty sure he was standing on the other side of the first down marker.
Now here's the punt unit as the defense forces a 3-and-out. A line drive.
Nope, I think I may have not aimed that one as far enough.
They're coming out with 2 wide receivers and 3 running backs.
Yeah, full house formation, right?
What a weird full house.
It's a full house with 2 wide receivers, basically. It's in some of the playbooks, right?
Yeah, full house wide, I think it's called.
I don't know. Most of the time you see the full house that looks like this, and it's got a tight end on the opposite side of the wide receiver, right?
They went with the running play.
You never know when
And the
you're
wide
gonna
receiver
find
is
great
tight
moves
too.
in
It's
the secondary.
basically a tight formation, kind of similar to the ones that we use,
They need 7.
except that it's the vanilla out of the box version of it, right?
The quarterback gets set with only 1 back behind him. Dropping back, closing in, throws it, and it's complete. Lynch, that pickup will be about 4 yards. So they need about 3 here. Press coverage on the outside.
I think this defense looks forward to these
Yeah.
third down
Yeah.
situations. because
Play
they can
action
stop them
again,
in the-
hey?
And the catch is made. Good looking play there.
Yeah, and then he bootlegs out.
To keep the
Yeah.
drive alive.
At this point, they pass so much on third down. I don't know why the defense continues to bite on play fakes, right? Like,
Because it's in the game.
Pressure.
Oh, what kind of a cut block was that?
This is incomplete.
I don't know, did you get 2 for 1 there or what?
As the pass
Yeah, I'll take a look at this. It's like a sideways cut block.
Yeah.
And then because
somebody-
that halfback does that cut block, then the other guy gets suctioned into the lineman, right?
Yeah, and that lineman showed a lot of mobility being able to backpedal that fast.
Fifth play of this drive.
Oh well. We're using free safety 2 out there,
Outside.
accidentally. For a moment.
Yeah, I have some packages out there that I use too, so from time to time.
Dropping back. Gets rid of it. And it's caught. Small.
Not that it made any difference.
At the 42-yard line.
Oh well, he's gonna have to go sit down again for a bit.
Find out what you can and report to us. Sixth play of this drive. About 2 to go. New York pulls its secondary up to help with the short yardage situation.
This team has to start converting on third down if they're going to be successful.
Tosses it out to the left. George stops him.
Well, I wasn't able to stop him before the first down marker, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes 2 times in this
Well,
drive
you know
they
what
give
though?
up
Once in a
first
while,
down
if they
on
do
third
run
down.
up the middle,
And the
it's pretty
defensive
hard to stop
coordinator
them,
giving
right?
up those types of yards will drive you absolutely nuts.
Gets the toss to the
Wow.
backfield.
That's a big loss on a run play.
Yeah, that's 7 yards.
Linebackers are supposed to do. He threw to the ball, and when he got there, he made the sure tackle and brought him down.
Second and long. The visiting team line up in trips bunch. Tosses it right. Incomplete pass.
You notice how good the corners are at batting the passes down, though?
Yeah, that wasn't the type of
Like
pass
they-
coverage I'm used to.
Yeah, they don't. These guys play much better than the Crusaders cornerbacks do, right?
Well, that's because the Crusaders corners play dirty.
He doesn't have much mobility
For lack of a better way to say it.
Spend the rest of the game on the sideline.
All right, Joe, thank you for the update. John is able to tip it away again.
See, they're almost always able to knock those passes away, right?
And right now, the defense is just shutting the window.
Oh, is back to punt. Here's the kick. From the 19-yard line.
Still getting returns on those.
Yep, you are. You're still getting returns.
It's 1st and 10. Strickland sends a man in motion. He'll pass on first down. Under pressure, throws on the run.
Throws the ball.
Yep.
Brady stops him at the 40.
Hey, I've got receivers on this team that can catch those, so you bet.
Yeah, unlike Edwards on the Magicians.
Yeah.
I believe somebody said in our Magicians franchise on one of the comments that the entire receiving core needed to be fired.
Actually, no, what I thought you were going to mention was one of our regular viewers who said, looks like the receiving sliders were set to multiple sclerosis.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was 20 drop passes in that game.
Yeah. Well, 19, but who's counting, right?
Ridiculous.
So they have first and 10 here.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, the guy, he said, receiving sliders have been set to multiple sclerosis.
Calling an audible now.
That was actually quite witty.
Santiago. Barber makes the play.
Well, I couldn't run over that guy.
Couldn't pick up any blocking on that play.
The defense is always very aggressive when defending the run. They're extremely disciplined. They get off their blocks very quickly. Makes it tough to find openings when you're running the ball.
Schwartz comes in motion. Drops back.
Okay, well, I'll just start without him.
He's at the 25.
No problem.
You know, like when they start swapping player, like, why would you do that, right? Why would you just start swapping coverage guys back and forth like that? They're running around in circles, and I'm all ready to snap the ball and get going, right?
Yeah, I don't know. It was messy.
Yeah, well, you see that a lot, though, right?
Comes in for the extra point. And it's on its way.
Like I said, they just want you to drop 500 yards passing on them.
Yeah, well, I'm probably going to do
The
that.
home team are ready to kick this one off.
Well, you've passed, you must have passed 300 yards now.
And he got all of that one. A great kick.
There we go, back on form again.
No return this time, and the offense heads out into the field, taking over at the 20. So they have first and 10 here.
See, the man coverage double flats is still a staple of my defense.
Yeah, even from this look, eh?
Rushing on first down has not worked out for them today. Less than a 2-yard per
Yeah, I didn't believe that was a run.
Yeah, you just kept on going, eh?
About 7 yards there. So they need about 3.
Because they've been doing the play action thing so much, right?
Yep.
Richardson, the deep back. Pressure coming. Steps
Yeah.
out of the pocket. Great play in the backfield by Lewis.
There, that'll
Great
fix him.
job getting in there to drag the quarterback down, and he picks up the sack.
And he'll make 2 or 3 plays like that.
Well, he's got 3 in this game.
Kyle will work out of the shotgun. Gets the pass off.
Wow, that was a really early thrown ball.
Yep.
Play stops him at the
That was like a snap and a throw.
This is one heck of a play. Look at it. They're in a hole here on third down, and they come through with this perfect play that gets them a first and keeps the drive going.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I think those are just lucky, right? When they manage to complete those kinds of things.
Passing on first down. Closing in.
Because that guy hasn't even finished running his pattern. I don't even know. For all we know, he could have been running a post, right?
Yep.
But when you throw the ball that early down the field, well, then any receiver in the area is going to, you know, cyclically lock onto that ball and start going after it, right?
Second and long.
Hey, look at that. The Comets are 8-5.
Again, he'll get the call.
They
They didn't call it.
nope. They won again.
Another outstanding defensive
I think they're going to win their
He made a
division.
name for himself with plays
Quite
like that.
possibly.
He's one of those guys that every defensive
The
coordinator
Comets started
would love
off
to
as a
have on the
cupcake team, but here in season 10, they're in first place in the NFC North.
On and off the field.
And I think they've got a couple or 3 game lead too.
Yeah, and you can't win if you can't.
That's a
convert
weird
third
gap
down.
there, eh?
Yep.
Throws it, and it's
Well, that's okay. They're still going to punt.
at the 41-yard line.
They wanted to throw that little in over the middle, and we had a short zone there and a man coverage guy. Just waiting for them.
Snow will come into this game to punt.
Yeah, this guy will have punted for, at least 10 or 11 times, maybe 12 times by the time this game is over.
From the 26-yard line. Good return there. That could have been a real big one.
Yeah, he showed some good.
He's going to have to start airing those punts out a little bit more or something.
Yo, he's just kicking them too far downfield.
Return for their team.
Looks like he's
Either that or we've got really amazing punt blocking, or they've got really, really bad coverage.
I think it's a little of all of those
The
things.
defense had great penetration, and they were right there to cover their gap assignments.
Second and long. He sees something in the defense. Number 88 in motion. Gets the pass off. In,
Oh,
out of his
that's
hands.
just a draw.
Short
Yeah,
pass
well, he is a
brings
rookie.
up a third down play. As they get ready for this third down play, we'll take a look at how they've done today.
Third down conversions is a keeper stat. When you convert on third down, you keep 3 things. You keep your drive going, you keep their defense on the field.
Oh, couldn't quite run over that guy.
Defense resting on the sideline.
That's what I was hoping to do, right? Is
Yeah,
maybe
get those extra yards.
with the big guy there, run over that defensive back and get an extra yard or two, but not quite.
Unable to get anything going on that series, they'll have to punt it away here.
See, that's why in the new playbook that I'm working on, I actually went to a couple of offset I formations, and one of the mainstay plays
Very shallow
in
punt.
both of those formations is that fullback dive that
Yep.
goes between the guard and the center. And more often than not now on first down when I'm running that playbook is I'll just call that play because I know I'm going to get at least a couple of yards and I'm not going to be, in a 2nd and 13 situation like I was in this time around, right?
They're having no success running on first down.
Stuff like a turkey.
If it's 2nd and 8 or even 2nd and 9, at least I've got a chance, right?
Leave a mark.
He got hit so hard he darn near had to take a taxi back to the stadium.
They're trying to move the ball on the ground.
A running attack that is consistent.
Well, I still gave up 2 yards on that play in spite of making contact with him in the backfield.
Press coverage on the outside.
Yeah, he just kind of dragged you around, right?
Pressure.
Oh, wow.
I don't know, man.
That was cheesy, man.
37-yard
Wow.
line. They picked up a lot of yardage and a first down.
When you have guys with
Pulling out all the stops now.
Yep.
Gives you the ability to run long.
Well, I don't know how that was not a sack. All he had to do was make contact with him. Wow.
Their blocks a little longer because it takes more time for the play to develop.
Lane, the motion man. Here on first down, under pressure, throws it, and this pass is completed. Clay makes the tackle at the 48. They throw it and pick up a 2nd consecutive first down.
Well, when you start to establish something, you want to keep it going until the defense finds a way to stop you.
Ball on the 48-yard line.
They won't get this play off.
So we've reached the end of the third quarter with the home team ahead of the visiting team, 45-3. The visiting team, who are just about dead in this one, have the ball as we start the final quarter. first and 10. Richardson. Cole drags the ball carrier down.
Now there's going to be no rushing yardage there, too.
Nope.
Carrier, and his tackle total is now 4. Big tackle there for a loss and great pursuit there, John.
You can say that again. He knows how to prepare, and it really pays off when you make stops like that.
They'll go from the shotgun. Looking for an option. Pressure coming, and he's brought down in the backfield by Lewis.
Yep, there's Lewis again.
Yep. That's about 5 for him in this game now. I'm pretty sure he's getting like awfully close to 40 sacks on the season so far.
So they dug themselves into a hole here, a long third down situation. Out of the gun. Throwing short to his left.
Ooh.
Yeah, you don't want to throw those against man.
Yeah, really. That one was almost a lateral too, right? Well, here's punt number 10.
The punter is in again. The 10th time he's come in to kick it away. Here's the kick.
Aw, come on. Oh, well.
Guess he didn't want to field that
He
one.
didn't want to field that one. He auto ran away from it.
Yeah, he auto ran away from it.
It's because they wanted to give him an inside the 20 punt before this game was over, considering he's done it 10 times.
So they have first and 10 here. Strickland with a man in motion. Tosses it right. Hand it off. Thomas makes the tackle at the 11. Just about a 3-yard gain.
Well, that was okay.
It was okay.
They need 7.
So I got Thompson in here for some of these big formations now.
Roll back handoff.
Since I've been having very little luck.
And when you talk about getting unloaded on,
Running the
that's
ball.
what happened here. He just got unloaded on.
Brooks. couldn't
Somehow.
find any room on that one.
They really hustle on the
I don't know, they've
defensive
just
side
been
of the
really
ball.
cracking down on the
Very
run.
good, clogging up the line,
Yeah,
limiting
a lot
the number
more
of
than what
holes.
would be
Cutbacks
justified, I
with
think,
the
for the
pass
amount
after
of, or
choosing.
little, for the little success that I've had at it, right?
7 yards to go.
You know, like I've got 67 yards on the ground in this game. Like, come on, guys.
Yellow, 74. Man, come on. Dropping back, flings it to the outside. Off target, but he gets it. Hansen caught it short of the first down marker.
Well, you almost made it.
Yeah, well, at this point, I'm just running the clock now, right?
So they'll line up the punt after
I'm going to have to
3 and
quit
out.
run. If I want to maintain possession of the ball, I'm going to have to stop running on first down, right?
Maybe you should really aim for that 500 yards passing.
A line drive. Right through his hands.
Oh, he's going to get yards on that because
Yeah.
of that cheesy fumble.
Oh, well. That's okay. It still wasn't a bad exchange anyway. I think I got a net of pretty close to 40 yards on that.
It's first and 10. The defense is going to play this one very tight. He hauls him down behind the line. John, the coaches are always
You're not
talking
spinning
about
away
his
from me.
intensity and awareness.
And those are the type of plays where you see those qualities really showing themselves.
Yeah, Teal's a pretty good player, actually. He's got decent speed for a defensive end.
Great position to make the play.
With the throw, almost couldn't come up with the
Oh.
interception.
It's just the skiing, man. It's just the way it's designed. It's the only explanation for it.
Yeah.
Because
He's got-
unlike on the Crusaders,
yeah.
everybody here can
What does
catch.
that say? It says drop 4 interceptions with 1 player.
Looking down downfield, passes left, and he dropped it. Not much touch on that pass.
He may have tried to put a little too much.
I'm sure glad he dropped that one.
Number 43 gets set for the return as we take a look at his numbers. The defense did a great job on that series, pushing them backward. Here's the punt.
Well, he outkicked the coverage again there.
Yep.
He had some room but couldn't get that one block to let him go the distance.
One or two more blocks would have sprung him.
First and 10.
Let's go! Hear that call? Set! Blue, 74!
Strickland sends a man in motion.
Talk left! Talk left!
Passing on first down. Looking for a receiver. Throws on the move. And
Wow, he just got behind everybody there.
Stops
Yep.
him at the 46-yard line. Once again, he makes it happen.
Well, you know what?
He's one of those guys who doesn't lose his accuracy.
If they really want to play the way that they're playing, I guess that's what that's the route that I'm going to have to go, right?
Passing window open up, you'll get it out of there pretty quickly.
Strickland with a man in motion.
Delta, switch one!
Throwing on first down. Looking downfield. Throwing.
Right?
It's pretty hard to overthrow a guy with 99 speed, too.
That's right.
Touch pass down the field to move the chain.
You know, this guy could really get out there and run past the secondary. He's got a gear that most other guys just don't have.
See, and they don't seem to be changing their ways either, right?
Set 2, green, 74!
And Hansen has done a tremendous amount of damage to them today, too, right?
Dropping back. Throws it. He finds
Because he's fast enough on those flat passes to run away from a corner, right?
What he's
Yep.
doing is sitting back there in the pocket, seeing everything, making great decisions, and getting the ball to the right guy. He's playing very well right now.
it 5 yards away from the end zone.
Oh, look at this. They got the goal line D out there now.
Jammer, the motion man.
Here we come! Bring it! Bring it!
Closing in.
Oh, I couldn't throw it.
Down he goes. Jacob busts through.
Yeah, you press the button and he just wouldn't let go of it.
Yeah, he wouldn't let go of
Good
it.
mix of moves when he rushes. He can beat you with a swim.
That's
and a club
okay,
and an arm
because we're going to score a touchdown anyways, I think.
Second and goal.
Because from out here, almost any kind of pass that I throw, I can probably pick up,
Tubbs in motion.
10 or 12 yards on, right?
Calling it on.
Okay, don't wave your hands around too much.
Looking for a receiver. Firing a ball into the end zone. Almost picked off.
The safety was
Almost
being
a
smart there.
big turnover.
Yep.
One thing remains constant. No matter what kind of quarterback you are, rushing your throws is going to end up in incompletion or worse.
And here's what they've been able to do so far on third down.
Third down is when you want your players to dig deep and make a clutch play. When you convert, it gives your defense
Okay,
a
that's
little
not
extra
what I
rest,
wanted to
and
call,
it gives
but
your
oh
offense
well.
a fresh set of downs to work with.
Drops back. Looking downfield. Rolling out to his right. He's going to run it. Room to run. And he just got
Well, you'll have a really
Yeah,
short
you know
field
that
goal.
whole
Yep,
deal about
that's
what
right.
happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object? Well, the unstoppable force won that one.
Charles comes into the game to try the field goal.
The scary thing is that Rojas is 10 points faster than this guy, right? Like the guy who is... Ooh. You know what? I think they just decided that I'm not going to score any more points in this game, right? Every time something could go wrong, it does. The kick meter goes wonky, or
The corners move up to play
like
this one
two
time.
guys on one side of the offensive line both forget to block somebody, or something like
Only
that,
one man
right?
back. Heil sends a man in motion. Passing on first down. Pressure, so they'll lose yardage.
That's okay. We'll get a couple more sacks instead.
An embarrassing day for the offensive line, as they've now given up 8 sacks. Now they're looking at 2nd and long after the sack. The defense is going to play this one very tight. They'll go from the shotgun.
Well, got one from that side
Number
now.
9.
John, the offensive line just can't stop that rush.
Yeah, they did a good job upfield and taking them down.
It's now 3rd and long.
They just
after the
can't
sack.
stop that rush.
That's right, they can't. It's the unstoppable rush.
Dropping back under pressure. He's looking.
There, that's how they have to do it. They have to cut block the outside
Just
linebacker,
couldn't
right?
hold on to that pass.
He has the hands to make catches on the toughest passes. I'm a little surprised to see him drop that one.
Good defensive stand there. Now they'll
Yeah, it
punt
looks like
away
this guy
after a
has like an
3 and out.
incredible leg, but
Yeah, his coverage team doesn't seem to be able to get down the field to cover him when he kicks those, right?
well, you're starting on their side of midfield now.
Yep, that I am.
So they have 1st and 10 here. Looking upfield. Ooh, that one will leave a mark.
He got popped. I'll tell you one thing.
See, a little story about Chris
So a
Thompson
pickup
here
of maybe 3.
is that he was the starting halfback in season 1. And then the exhibition season in season 2, he suffered a broken leg and missed the entire season. Luckily, I had drafted Brooks at that time. So Brooks ended up being the starting halfback. And he actually
Brooks. Still running.
grew to the point where he was the starting halfback in seasons 3 and 4.
Wow.
Fresh set him down.
And then I drafted Bill Santiago, right?
Yep.
So Chris Thompson basically hasn't been the starter
Since his
on the-
injury.
ever since his injury in like season 2. He's been basically the career backup, right?
Blue, 16. Base, base. Roger.
Santiago. Blair punishes the ball carrier at the 25.
Well,
He
at
was
least
in
I
on the
didn't
play.
lose
He's
any
got
yards
7
that time.
So far in the game. They're within striking distance here.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems to be a built-in strategy. They, even no matter how big a deficit they're in, they want to force you to pass, which, if things are going well with the passing game, just causes that deficit to get bigger and bigger and bigger, right?
Yeah, and you hear about these guys passing through a tire or at a tire, and that's where that practice pays off. He was right on target there.
And I don't know, is it better to lose by 50 points or by 3 touchdowns, right? I don't know.
Red, 16.
Yeah, they probably shouldn't play as aggressively as they do.
With the carry.
Well, it's half of their problem, right?
And the big fullback does enough by himself.
Well, and the funny thing is, there are some teams in the league that aren't that aggressive, and they usually put up a pretty good game. But then you get teams like this, right?
6th play of this drive.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of it, too, is that the game is designed to create highlight reel plays. So you're either going to have a big play on offense or you're going to have a big, defensive play or whatever, but they're see that? I mean, like you just can't design against something like that, right? They basically force you into a passing situation, even when they're trailing by 42 points, right?
And if they can get inside the 4, they'll convert for a first down. And if they can get inside the 4, they'll convert for a first down. And if they can get inside the 4, they'll convert for a first down. And if they can get inside the 4, they'll convert for a first down. And if they can get inside the 4, they'll convert for a first down. And if they can get inside the 4, they'll convert for a first down. And if they can get inside the 4, they'll convert for a first down. And if they can get inside the 4, they'll convert for a first down. And if they can get inside the 4, they'll convert for a first down. And if they can get inside the 4, they'll convert for a first down. And if they can get inside the 4, they'll convert for a first down. And if they can get inside the 4, they'll convert for a first down. And if they can get inside the 4, they'll convert for a first down. And if they can get inside the 4, they'll convert for a first down. And if they can get inside the 4, they'll convert for a first down. And if they can get inside the 4, they' The visiting team come out in a nickel package.
Okay, well, I was not going to throw. I was going to audible away from this, but I think I'll keep it now.
Drops back with the throw. Nice adjustment. Number 41.
Well, and you got your catch. You got a really, really small amount of distance to make for first down here.
And if they can get inside the 4, they'll
Well,
convert
I'm going to
first
run,
down.
and if I make it, fine, and if I don't make it, then I'll just kick a field goal. Or I'll try to kick a field goal.
No, not today. Watch him now. Watch him.
Cross play to the right. This one is handed off. He just got it across the goal line.
See, this guy, Brooks, has had a reasonable amount of success running the ball in this game, too. But the feature halfback hasn't been able to get anywhere, right? Every time I hand the ball off to him, he gets stuffed. But when I hand the ball off to Brooks, you know, like he isn't going to get a 100-yard gain, but he's probably got 50 yards.
And it's on its way. The extra point
Because the one longish run that we got in this game was by Brooks too, right?
Yep.
The home team are lined up for the kickoff. Booming kick down.
But that's one of the reasons that I make heavy use of fullbacks in this game too, is that for some reason it seems to be programmed so that it can be extremely hard to run with a halfback. But if you hand it to a fullback, they seem to be completely unprepared for that, right?
It's first and 10.
Because they thought that they were phasing out the fullback position, don't you know?
Yeah, I guess. Well, as a result, fullback will always be an important position on my team.
Throwing on first down. Passes left. And he he can't hold it in.
See, what are they doing coming out in a set like this at this point in the game?
Still to go.
They're not the lifers.
Directing traffic. Changing the play now. Throwing short to his left.
Wow, you know what? He backed up and bumped into the running back that was pass blocking behind him too, right?
And they're still coming out in this
A
formation.
little over a minute left. Here are the numbers when it comes to third down conversions.
Third down conversions are usually a good barometer of how well your offense is playing. It means that your offense is making big plays.
Yeah,
this-
play action.
Yeah, this is not exactly a passing formation, right? Oh, look at this. They're going to go on fourth down now.
Quarterback is calling them back to the line of scrimmage. Drops back, gets the pass off. This one ball's incomplete.
Well, so much for that idea.
Yeah, so much for that idea. You know what? I don't know if I should even bother to run the ball here. Wow. Because I already know it's going to be a failure anyway, right?
Set. Yellow, 74.
Calling an audible. Brooks. Barber makes the play at the 19-yard line.
There, we'll give it to Brooks again.
That's what he can do to you. You can't bring this guy down with an arm tackle. You got to swarm him. Get him from all sides, and then just take him to the ground.
Oh well, we'll run the clock down here, and then maybe we'll line up and kick a field goal just to end the game.
Yeah, you can't have your inside the 20 get worse.
Yeah.
Red zone scoring percentage
Well,
get worse.
hitting the goalpost there already messed things up for me a bit, but oh, what can you?
They'll go with a run once again. Blair pulls him down. And we're back.
You're totally going to have to call a timeout.
Charles.
Yeah, we'll call a timeout.
Charles stops the clock with that timeout.
Oops. Come on.
Set.
There, see, that one was perfect, right?
Because there's no pressure on this field goal.
Yeah. Well, there you go, folks. That's how easy it is when you have a 10-year franchise, right?
Even with the harder sliders.
Even with the harder sliders.
But that's why we do the cupcake thing.
Yeah. Because if we started off with an average rated team, we'd be doing this right from year one. So that field goal that they got as a result of the fumble is the only points you allowed.
Yep.
Yep.
It's just because I couldn't push them back far enough.
Yeah. Yeah, you did push them backward a little bit after that, too. So anyway, they had 24 rushing yards. I managed to amass 100 yards on the ground. And they had 114 yards passing. And they got the only takeaway. That was that fumble. Which, of course... So look at that quarterback rating, eh? It's just like Bo Jenkins.
Yep.
400 yards passing, 4 touchdowns. Completed 75% of his passes. Wow. There you go. See, Brooks averaging 6.5 yards per carry. And Santiago not even being able to make 2, right? Then we had Strickland out there, a couple of carries for 18 yards. Even Thompson, like that. It's just tough to run with halfbacks in this game, it seems like. For me, anyway. So, kind of mainly throwing the ball to Schwartz and Hansen today.
And a little bit to Tubbs.
Yeah, and Hansen got 3 touchdowns.
Yo, it's all on those flat routes, right?
Yeah, but you can see this, right? Like, all of my receivers have 90 catching or better, too, right? Like you don't get very many drop passes.
Yeah, you don't have 19 drop passes in this game.
Even with the receiving slider set to multiple sclerosis, these guys can still catch.
Yep.
Right? Just because they're receiving, like, their catch ratings are so high, right? Look at that. Brooks does it all. He can carry the ball. He can catch the ball. He can knock people down when he's blocking. He's a good player. And there's Larry Lewis, the one-man wrecking crew with 13 tackles and 6 sacks. Wow. Hey. And surprisingly enough, you didn't really do what I thought you were going to do with Roman George.
Well, instead I ended up like eating up double and triple teams all game long.
Yeah. So anyway, lots of tackles for a loss, though. And you sack these guys 9 times. So Sparks got 1, Cross got 1, and you got 1 from your dime guy too, right? And Bronson dropped 4 interceptions. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 pass knockdowns, but I would say that at least half of those were dropped interceptions.
Yo, and again, it was mostly Bronson playing the spy in the middle, actually.
Yeah.
They just kept hitting him in the face with it.
Yeah, well, that's why I started doing that too, like playing a lot more spy defenses, because they like to throw those short, quick little passes over the middle, and if you have a guy parked in there, well, then they're quite often they're going to throw it right at him, right? Okay, well, we didn't do too bad here. We got a net average of 37. Actually, when I checked here, Sabatini is leading the league in net average for punting right now.
Nice.
Yeah. So, lots of punt returns today. You actually returned 9 punts for 89 yards.
Which never happens in this game.
Yeah, well, that's how badly they were out kicking the coverage.
All day long.
And you know what? Their offense played absolutely terrible. Right? They had one guy who was 9 for 22, and the other guy who was 5 for 15. So, yeah, absolutely terrible passing game. And their running game wasn't any better. They got 20 carries for 24 yards. They've had 4 drop passes, which is not out of line, I don't think, for the number of passes that they threw. And lots of pancake blocking, but doesn't seem to help. And they had 7 tackles for a loss. Oh yeah, there's that guy, Sleepy Perry, right?
Yep, he's still on the team.
He's a 13-year pro now, right? So, yeah, I would imagine that they'll be losing him at some point. Who was that? The rookie right end who got a sack. 4 pass deflections. Forced fumble. So, there you go, folks. That's what a fully developed franchise team looks like. The Spitfires. And I don't play the Spitfires a lot anymore, but I still like to go back and play a game with them once in a while when I feel like really, really giving somebody a whooping. But anyway, who's the player of the game? It's Andre Strickland. Quarterback check.
Yep.
Of course, he did throw 4 touchdown passes and threw for 407 yards. So, anyway, not bad for a guy coming off the bench.
Yep.
So, I guess that's it. So, we'll be back with the Crusaders again next time, but just thought we'd throw this in as just a little extra added feature.
Indeed.
Hope you all enjoyed it.
Until then.
Yeah, I'm Sandman99.
And I'm Recv5. Have a good one.